Hi everybody! So today I want to make a video about languages because as you know I'm French. Well, I guess you know I'm French and I speak English, I speak French of course, and I speak Spanish. And a lot of people ask me like, why do you speak so good English? Like, how did you achieve to have a good level in English? Those kind of things. And so I decided to make a video to answer you all. I just figured out it would be also a good idea for students, if you're still at school and that you have troubles learning a language. Can be English, can be French, German, Spanish, whatever. I think this video might have some good tips for you to help you to improve your language level. So I'm not saying I'm perfectly bilingual. I know that I still make a lot of mistakes. Just in this video you can probably find a lot of mistakes, and let alone in my whole channel. I know my English is still not perfect, and I know my accent and the way I pronounce words is not perfect either. I hope that the tips I have to improve will help other people watching this video. Okay, first thing you have to know is that I always wanted to speak other languages. At first, I wanted to speak Spanish. I don't know why, but since I was a little girl, I was like obsessed with Spanish for some reason. Also, you have to know that if I speak English that good, it's not thanks to what I learned at school. Because if I stopped what I'm learning at school, what I learn at school, I would still not be able to have like a fluid conversation, you know what I mean? So it's really about your own work. Well, at least in France, because France is a country really famous, I think, for having bad knowledge of other languages. We're bad at school in languages compared to other European countries like Norway, Denmark. These kind of countries are really good in languages. Like when a Danish girl speaks, it's like it's her mother tongue or something. It's so natural, the accent is perfect, they know all the vocabulary, it's amazing. I wish I was Danish for that. But if you feel like with what you learn at school, it's not enough to be fluid, you really should go ahead and start to learn by yourself. It's not something boring to learn languages by yourself, it's actually entertaining. By reading books, reading magazines, watching TV, in English I mean, of course, and it really helps to see the language, to see the fact of learning a new language as a good thing, as an entertainment rather than a boring stuff to do. So this is something that helps too. Because I've never had issues learning English or Spanish, it just came naturally. So in the movies, people ask me like, do you watch like the movie in French with English subtitles or in English with French subtitles or what? So the thing is, if I can, the thing I like the more to do is to have English sounds and English subtitles. This way you try to catch up with what the characters are saying, and if you don't understand, you rely on the subtitles. But something that is not to do if you can is to watch the movie in English, or in the language you're trying to learn, and to have the subtitles in your mother tongue, because if you do this, you will probably end up like only relying on the subtitles in your mother tongue and not even paying attention anymore to the sound, to the character, to what the character is saying in the language you're trying to learn. So, and I think that even the best thing to do is to watch the movie in the original version, like with no subtitles. But it can be a bit harsh. I mean, if you don't understand anything, if you don't understand the movie, if you watch without subtitles, add subtitles, like do as much as you can, and in the end, hopefully, you will end up learning from it. Another thing important is that you must not stop to when you don't understand a word. Like if you don't understand a word, it's okay. I'm sure you can understand the whole meaning of the sentence, of the text, of the book, There's a lot of words you will not understand when you read a book. For instance, the latest book I've read, let's say I've read it what seems to be the correct way. I'm not sure, but yeah, you see, I always have issues. I still have issues, but anyway. So in this book, I never used a dictionary once. Even though there was words I could not understand, I still, you don't have to stop to it. Like if you don't understand a word, just keep on reading, and you can understand the general meaning, and it's what matters. It's the only thing that matters, because you will never really progress if you stop at every word you don't understand. Also, one thing important if you really, really want to progress in a language is that you have to use it every day. Like to read something in this language or to translate something in this language, to have to deal with it in the day. Like for instance, I always have an English stuff in my night table, a magazine or a book. So before I go to sleep, sometimes I read a little, this kind of things, or in the morning when I wake up. Also, every time I see a movie or I see a series or anything, I always try to watch it in English rather than in French. And sometimes it's a bit tricky. Like a few days back, I watched Superbad, the movie Superbad in English, and it was actually a bit hard to understand sometimes because they're using a lot of slang and they're talking really fast. So there was a lot of stuff that I didn't get, and there was also jokes, but like play on words, those kind of things that I could not understand because I'm French basically, and this is not in my culture, or this is words I don't understand. I don't understand the double meanings of some words, so a few things like this. So it was a bit hard to understand everything, but in the end I can still tell you what the story is about. It didn't stop me to understand the whole story. Also, in the beginning it will probably be really hard to learn the language. I remember that at the beginning, I hated English, believe it or not. I only liked Spanish, and that was it. English was not my thing, believe it or not. So in the beginning, it will be really hard to start to learn the language because you will have to learn all the boring stuff. All the boring stuff is in the beginning. This is really the hard stuff to go through. I'm learning Russian right now. Well, I started like 2 years ago, and then I stopped because I didn't have enough time. But it was really tough, because Russian is a really different language. So you really have to put yourself into it if you want to learn it. And yeah, this is really boring to learn the basic of a language, but you have to go through this to go to the next step, And if you're at a stage with any language you're trying to learn, you just have to keep focused on your on your goal. Sorry, I don't know why I say meal. Anyway, so you really need to stay focused on what you're trying to achieve with this language. And really, if one day you're fed up with learning the basics, just do something else, do something funny. Try to look at the pages of a magazine in the language you're trying to learn. It will help you to catch the words, the vocabulary, and not being bored at the same time. So don't give up. If it's hard on you, don't give up, and you will be glad you did, as I'm glad I did with Spanish and English, because I'm so glad I can speak those languages, and really, I'm really glad I haven't give up. So please don't give up if you're trying right now to learn something, to learn a language. Also, a last tip, which I guess is kind of obvious, but the thing is, not everyone can do it. Well, the tip is, if you want to really, really learn a language, you have to go in a country where this language is spoken. But as I said, it's not to everybody's reach, because it costs money, to go in a different country. So yeah, not everybody can do it. I have to tell you that you have to be kind of good already to make some progress, because if you're starting from scratch and you go in the country, you will not understand, people will not understand you, and you will not understand them, and it will rather stop you, like make you feel like you're too you suck learning this language, you know, like you're not good enough, like there's too much way to go. So, you know, it might be like, it might bring you down if you're really not good enough to understand everything. Um, so I would say that you should go in a country speaking the language you're trying to learn only if you're already kind of good. Like if I go in England or in America, it's okay. You know, I will not be disappointed. I will not be left down or something, because I can make myself be understood and I can understand people, even though I make mistakes a lot still. So yeah, I think that will be it for the tips. I hope it will help in some way. If you like the video, press the thumbs up button and I will know I should do another one. You can also comment telling me what you think I should say, something else I should say, what on which subject you want tips, those kind of things. I was thinking also of doing a video telling you why I do videos in English whereas I'm French, because I'm doing beauty videos. You know, it's nothing. It doesn't have to be in English. I could as well make them in English, in French. So maybe you're wondering about this, and yeah, I think I will do one in the future. But for now, I'll see you later and bye.